Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for all the views, comments on my previous 3 videos on my Darto Carbon Steel pan. It has been a few weeks now. I've cooked a bit about it. I've learned a lot about the cooking on carbon steel, and today I wanted to do another video. I'm gonna do this live, so it might end up being a fail. But and pardon my stove, it's a little bit dirty. I was cooking tomato pasta last night and I got a few splash here and there. Anyways, long story short, I'm gonna do this live from start to finish. I have cooked a few eggs on here now and I have been successful. However, I've always used butter. And I've gotten it down to not using a whole lot of butter. Of course, using a lot of butter, it's some of the videos, it's like, oh, they throw basically a huge block of butter and then it's non-stick because they're deep frying in a lot of butter. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to start this. Kind of just go through some of the tips and tricks that I've learned from a few weeks of cooking on this pan. And hopefully this can help everyone out. So today I'm going to cook this with regular vegetable oil. It's canola oil. Of course, not the best oil. I'm still waiting to find some avocado oil or grapeseed oil, or I do have a bottle of virgin oil, olive oil as well. But regardless of which, so we got the pan heated up. Got my egg ready. So what I do now is when I want to eat an egg, first thing I do is I go to the fridge, get this egg, and I put it in my pocket to warm it up. If I want to be very good about it, I'll put it in warm water to warm it up. I've watched a lot of videos, and again, thank you for everyone who's recommended other videos to watch to learn how to do this. I have watched all of those, and I've practiced them, and I've definitely gotten better at it, I'll say that much. Okay, so first step here. First step, make sure your egg is kind of lukewarm, not cold. That's the important part. Second thing is we need to make sure that this is getting to temperature. I'm going to do the exact same things that I learned from cooking on stainless steel, is you do the whole dancing water, the Lichten something effect where the water just kind of beads around. The other thing also, I've watched a lot of videos where people season it once, whether in the oven or on the stove, and then they go and they cook an egg. It doesn't work. Don't do that, guys. They did it because it worked for them because they put a crap ton of butter on it, but it doesn't work if you want to cook with oil. I know everyone's just going to say, well, just cook with butter then, which is true, but I don't know. I don't always want to go reach for butter. Sometimes I just want to cook with oil. Seems a bit simpler, easier, maybe a little bit healthier. I know there's still a lot of debate whether or not butter is bad for your heart or not. I'm not here for that debate today. But yeah, so again, make sure your egg is warm and not cold. We gotta warm this up to a proper temperature. The other thing I also found is with burners, like that's how my burner looks like. If I turn this down, it only is the center part, which is fine. But what happens is if you only have the center part, then what I do is I move this a little off-center in my pan. I move it a bit off-centered, so I'm not putting direct heat under where the egg is going to be. Because when it's too hot, the egg also doesn't like it. So that was kind of my tip that I figured out. Okay, so we're going to do a sprinkle bit of water. There we go. We got the dancing water effect. It's not perfect yet. You see there's still a bit of evaporation. If you throw water on, I should have did it earlier, but when you throw water on and it just evaporates, well, kind of like that, it's not ready yet. So we're gonna wait just a few seconds longer. We want to make sure that the water doesn't sizzle and evaporate away and does the dancing. It does kind of, you see that. We're gonna wait probably a few seconds longer. I think it works a little bit better on stainless steel. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, so I think we're good. So step number 1, turn the heat down. Turn it down. We gotta cool it back down a little bit before the egg hits. The point of making it hot first is to get it evenly hot. But an egg, it actually doesn't like super hot heat. So turn the heat down. I've turned it down to 3. And you see I've shifted the pan over, so I'm kind of heating that part of the pan. And my stove is a little bit like not level, so it's gonna land in here, the egg. Next thing, we want to add a little bit of oil. I'm gonna add just a bit more. I'm nervous here. This is my first time doing it with oil. I've cooked many times with butter, but not with oil, so I'm still a little bit nervous. The difference between oil and butter, the butter just has more fat content on it, so it's a lot easier to get the non-stickness. Whereas oil, yeah, I'm not a chemical engineer, so I can't really explain the reason behind it, but yeah. Anyways. And also, so coming back to it, I was saying a lot of people, they just season it once and then they go cook an egg. Don't do that. You kind of have to baby your pan for the first while and cook easy things. You know, you gotta ease into it. Give it easy things to cook to build up that seasoning. And I've screwed this up a few times. I cooked chicken one night in it because I'm like, why not? And then I put in the oven to finish it, and you still see a lot of this residual, not nice patina stuff on the side. So I kind of screwed it up, but that's okay. The main part is still pretty smooth, so I'm happy with it. And I've cooked probably a few times on it now, so we're good. Okay, so here we go. Next thing is when you put the egg in, do it gently. Don't just plop it in. So this part is kind of important. You want to make sure that the egg is not translucent anywhere. And you really, this part is a little bit of art more than science, but you got to listen to the sizzling, and then you got to kind of look at the edges to see when it starts lifting. You'll watch a lot of videos where they do this test where they take the handle and they just they shift it, you know, they go like this and show that it's unstick. I'm not going to do that because I haven't had a whole lot of luck with it. I'm just going to put some black pepper. That's how I like to eat it. So the key here is to wait for it to cook. I see a lot of people using metal utensils on their pan. You can, because it's stainless steel, it's not Teflon. I still use a silicone spatula because I'm just used to it. I don't want to scratch my seasoning off. Maybe I'm a little bit extra and overdoing it, but that's just me. Okay, when you start to see the edges here kind of curl up and lift from the pan, because remember, when it gets cooked, it'll automatically start lifting. Then we know it's ready. I think like these parts here will be pretty unstick, but down here, I bet you if I try right now, it's going to be very sticking. So we'll just give it a bit more time. No harm, plus this builds a nice crispiness. Yeah, oh, not bad, not bad. Look at that. A little bit of sticking there. So far, not bad. See the nice browning on that side. Oh, yeah, as expected. Align with hypothesis. Let's give it a few more seconds. Compared to like cooking on Teflon, yeah, the Teflon day is a lot easier. But this should be better for you, I'm hoping at least. You're eating a bit more oil, but I'd rather eat oil than Teflon. You can control the type of oil you eat and how much oil you eat, versus you can't really control how much Teflon you're ingesting. pretty much ready. I'm gonna baby it here. Haha! Beautiful. See that? Success. Now comes the very dangerous part. I like to eat my eggs over easy, mostly because that's the easiest way to cook them. I'm gonna flip this, and then let's see what happens here. There's not a whole lot of oil left, as you can see. Let me zoom in here. A lot of times, near the end of everyone's cook, see, you can see this part of the pan. Sorry, this part of the pan is actually pretty dry of oil. There's the oil there. You see a lot of people that cook, and near the end of it, there's a whole bunch of oil on their pan, and the top comments are always like, you've made I don't know, the 80 calorie egg into a 400 calorie egg by adding all that oil and butter. And eggs are supposed to be healthy, so again, not trying to start a debate up against oil and how it's good or bad for you, but same concept as the other side. Let it kind of do its magic. A little bit of stickiness probably means it's not ready. It's like Heinz ketchup. Gotta make sure it's ready. So the handle here, like the handle, it gets quite warm. So careful. Don't rush into grabbing the handle, or use a towel or a mitten. And the good thing about carbon steel, just like cast iron, it retains heat quite well. I'm going to turn this off. The residual heat will cook it. I don't know if there's like egg cooking ASMR, but there you go. Anyways. Here's the moment of truth. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the black pepper. It's not my pan. Trust me on this one. The first time I flipped it over, I was like, oh, am I eating all that carbon? No. That's the black pepper that I added on. Done, done. And just to show you how little oil is truly left on here, like that middle part is all dry. I've seen videos, oh, see, there's a little bit of running oil, but not a whole lot. I've seen videos where I've seen people who have intensely good seasoning on their pans that cook eggs without oil. That's the end game. But here we go, very transparent, showing I don't have a pool of oil or butter that some people do. Of course, it's going to be non-stick. But long story short, I'm not dissing them. If that's how they like to cook their eggs, it gets it definitely more crispy. They like to deep fry their eggs. I want something a little bit more healthy, but yeah. So it definitely works. You just need to baby your pan into it. Cook like bacon. I think that's one comment that I read. Eat bacon for a week, and then that will help build up that nice seasoning. That definitely is true. I don't really want to eat bacon for the full week, but I did it once, and it did build a quite nice seasoning on the top. But yeah, baby your pan. It's not that robust, but once you do get that nice seasoning, for cleanup also, sometimes I do rinse it in water. Most of the times, like after this, of course after it cools down, I'll just use a paper towel and I'll wipe it clean. I generally don't re-season my pan after I cook if it's simple things like cooking an egg. If I have cooked steak on here once, and after I did that, I did re-season it because when I was cleaning it with kosher salt, I was a little bit more rough. But when you're cooking eggs like this, I actually don't. Sometimes I rinse it, but most of the times I just wipe it down with a towel and I store it away so it doesn't collect dust. Oil is gonna attract a little bit of dust, but I wipe it very dry as well. And that's the number one tip I have when you are doing seasoning is wipe it until you don't feel there's any oil. A lot of people leave like oil on top, and then that's how it gets sticky and tacky. You want to wipe it all off. So anyways, that is it. That is my cooking adventure here with this Darto pan. Will I get another one? Maybe. The Darto ones are heavy though, so like I don't know the weight of the debouilleur or the mat firm ones. I'd be interested and excited to try those ones out, but for now I'm gonna stick with this one. I really wanted just to get this to make eggs, so goal accomplished. Okay, cool guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below how you guys cook your eggs. Do you use a whole bunch of butter? Do you use oil, and or do you just prefer the Teflon non-stick for simple, easy? Let me know. Love to hear from you guys, and catch you in the next one. Thanks, bye.